Here we go again, boys and girls, medieval Minecraft. At this leg of the adventure, we are now level 19, and attempting to get our flying mount home after a very long journey spanning the last 2 episodes. As we flew over a jungle, we spotted a jungle temple, but this was a bit larger than your typical vanilla jungle temple, and was absolutely filled to the brim with treasures, traps, and monsters. God damn, bruh. After eliminating about 1 million zombies from the entrance, we started working our way down into the structure in search of its secrets. Some of the enemies in this place had enchantments, which was supposed to make them a lot stronger, but my legendary weapons made quick work of everything. The enemies in this place, for the most part, were fairly basic mobs, like, you know, the kind of stuff you would expect just out and about wandering the fields. But the loot included diamond gear and other useful trinkets. I kept my eyes open for traps and other similar hazards, but I guess I was just paranoid and assuming everything in this mod pack was super deadly, because the only thing here was mobs. The dungeon did end up sort of having a boss who caught me a little bit off guard. Whoa! I didn't know this guy was here! We were able to take out the evoker from a distance with our Leviathan axe, making us 1 totem of undying richer. A good thing, since I tend to die a lot in this game. You know what, since I'm up here, let's get some of these air crystals or whatever. Cloud iron. This is a whole different kind of bosses from a whole different mod, so eventually we'll get around to fighting stuff from the Archon mod. Some elemental bosses. Let's sleep in the clouds. Eventually we passed back through that desert full of wonders, and spent a good number of our emeralds on some arcane runes from the wizard merchant in the village. The villagers told us of the nearby pyramid of Thath nearby, the tomb of an ancient evil emperor full of traps, puzzles, undead, and treasure. But the tomb had another hazard, a curse of fatigue that would make it so we couldn't just dig our way through or out. We had to do this legit. Within moments of placing the first torch, we were attacked by a horde of husks coming from every direction. We had to fight off a number of the beasts before I suddenly had a better idea. Using our mace Nightfall, we summoned our own warriors to defend us while we attempted to solve the puzzles which would allow us to enter the lower levels of the pyramid. There were 3 puzzles we needed to solve to enter the lower levels of the tomb. An arrow puzzle that I couldn't figure out, a puzzle involving books that I somehow got right on the first try, and a light puzzle that my allies desperately wanted to sabotage. Am I supposed to turn them all off? Bro! We tried to figure out that arrow puzzle for way longer than I care to admit. I have no idea what I was supposed to be doing here. I felt like I'd tried everything. So at some point, I did the most logical thing I could think of. Went home to get a tool to solve the problem for us. Fast, let me try something. Okay, those should work. Hopefully. I mean, bro, we're not historians here. We're adventurers. We don't need to keep this place intact. So, we decided to use explosives to force our way into the lower levels. This part of the tomb was a dang maze, full of twists and turns and secret doors and clues and all sorts of nonsense. Even pits of death that you were supposed to parkour over. Yeah, those are spikes at the bottom of that pit. We were attempting to check every inch of this place in search of loot. And I never really figured out how any of the secret doors worked either, but I had plenty of the boom things to make that a non-issue. While checking out what appeared to be a treasure room, we kind of accidentally stumbled across King Thoth himself, and were able to quickly defeat him, ending the curse on the pyramid before we were overrun by what I could only assume was his elite personal guard. I summoned a number of revenants to keep the husks busy, and then rushed into the throne room to destroy the spawners to cut off any reinforcements.
Think I took out most of them?
Our food was running out, and we were hurt. Since the curse was gone, I decided to dig out of the pyramid so we could waypoint back to the house in order to unload our backpack. We had dropped off all the valuables in the house, snagged some food, and refilled our canteen before heading back to the pyramid to finish looting the throne room for a bunch of gold and some other nice items. Once that place was finished off, we continued through the desert, finding a regular vanilla desert temple, which we carefully disarmed the trap inside of. Looting the chests, we came across one of the special eyes of Ender, which would be needed if we wanted to get to the end, as the regular end eyes would not work. Hey, I found a visual representation of what I want you guys to do right now.
Take flight and
Oh, that's the prettiest one. Let's call this one the Pyramid of, Cack. Before heading into this one, I used the tomes from the last place to level up again and increase a couple of our attribute points, going up a point in dexterity and 1 point in intelligence. This place had a few different puzzles from the other pyramid, but we already had a strategy for all that. Too bad it didn't exactly go according to plan.
Whoa! That was way more dangerous than I realized it was going to be.
Well, so much for that totem. Anyway, the rest of the pyramid was more or less the same thing as before. Maze, kill a pharaoh, loot some chests. We've already seen this. Not really much to say. So anyway, we jumped on the flying bird to continue our mission of getting this little guy back to our house. Our next point of interest on this trip, we spotted ourselves a shipwreck poking out of the ocean, so we dropped Birdie off at an island and went to check it out. Inside the wreck, we found an enchanted golden moss clump as well as a treasure map, which could potentially lead us to another one of those eyes. Leaving the shipwreck, we rushed right over to the X on the map, but it might have been glitched or something because the X was in the middle of the ocean and we dug up the whole area, finding nothing at all, kind of a ripoff. On the seas, we spotted a pirate ship, hopefully loaded with even more good stuff. So after quickly deciding it was probably worth our time, we attempted to attack the Illager pirates from our bird, swooping down for attacks. After we cleared the top deck and collected a little bit more loot, we tried to work our way down below, but we were chased back up above, where the worst thing that could have happened, of course, had to happen.
No!
As I worked back up top, I prayed, but it was true. Birdie was slain in battle against pirates, trying to protect me. Now that Birdie was gone, we had no real reason to walk all the way back home. We could now waypoint, but first we had another treasure map to check out. Following the map led us to a tropical volcanic island, which instantly caught my eye. This place was kind of awesome. It looked like a great place to potentially retire to once we someday finish our adventures here. I started thinking about building a cool resort, maybe some ruins or something, because this place was nice. Really green and sandy with the big volcanoes. We even found some of those island head thingies, which I thought was a really cool little detail. So after running around this place for a solid amount of time, we eventually placed ourselves a waystone, named this place Isle del Fuego, and headed on home. Wait. Hold on a second. What do you... Wait. So we forgot the map. We forgot to dig up the treasure. All right. Genius. Once we were home, we used some of our experience for enchanting, putting Unbreaking on Nightfall, and loading our arcane staff with spells and spell power enchantment. Now that we had a bunch of runes and a bunch of spells in our staff, we took it outside to test it out on some unsuspecting mobs. We had an arcane beam and a magical missile to play around with, and I was hoping this could be a viable weapon. Once I was satisfied, I made the decision that it was about time to eliminate something from our to-do list. It was time to reach the depths of the Minecells, to stop whatever evil that lurks within from spreading their influence upon the overworld. We had become much more powerful since our last time in this dimension, but I knew that if too many of these mobs ganged up on me, or if I was careless, they could destroy me. So I meticulously worked down room by room, killing everything in my path, making little safe points whenever there was a path to go deeper. These rooms had no spawners, so I would plug up the hole in the wall before working my way down. Although I must say I did make one fairly minor mistake in exploring the Deadcells.
Well, luckily, aside from getting some gear, forgot to record a bit of Minecells exploring, but all I really picked up was like a few diamonds, emeralds, this blood sword. Nothing too crazy.
The deeper we got in this place, the more enemies we faced, seemingly never to stop. And the imagery got more and more gruesome and cruel. Imagine actually being afraid of uploading imagery in Minecraft to YouTube.
Oh, that's f***ing gruesome. That's f***ed up. This place is screwed up. I love it. It's horrible. I knew there was horrible things happening down here. Now I have more proof. I've come across a lot more dead bodies now. Which is extra creepy considering there's no dead bodies in Minecraft.
We worked our way down multiple levels, fighting, looting, and hiding in what seemed like a never-ending cycle. Until eventually, finally, we stumbled across another portal. Surrounded with chains and leaves, and labeled as the Insufferable Crypt, I had a feeling I may have come across the great evil of this horrible place. It was time to defeat the Minecells dimension. It took a little bit of mental preparation before I was willing to jump in, as I had no clue what was going to be waiting on the other side. When I went through, I was greeted by a lift to take me down. This elevator room was just big enough for us to set up a waystone, so just in case things went poorly, I'd be able to teleport right back here to the bottom of the Minecells without having to pass through all that nonsense again. With all that set up, it was time to jump on the lift and defeat whatever evil lurked beneath. It was time to conquer the Minecells.
Oh my god. What the f***? Oh! Conjunctivivus.
Luckily for me, these golems are making a fantastic distraction.
Three more runes. I have 3 more runes. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Took all my runes and all my arrows, but eventually, with a fair sword swipe, our enemy was defeated, and the Minecells were conquered.
Whoa! 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 Holy kaburp! Whoa! What do you mean? Curse sword. Wielding this weapon brings a deathly curse upon you.
The threat of the Minecells was defeated, the conjuncta guy dropping tons of loot and XP for our heroism. And defeating him granted us a quest reward. A forge controller. Forge controller, eh? Maybe there's something we can do with that. I guess we know what we're doing in the next episode. Some stuff with some metal. See you then.